This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Hey guys, Paul here today, and we are going to talk about squats for bodybuilding. I have mixed feelings about squats for bodybuilding. I do think for some people they can be great. For other people, they're not so great. Before we get into it, I want to take a quick second and talk to you about I am doing coaching and consultations right now. If you want to get in contact with me about coaching or a consultation, shoot me an email. I don't know why guys will drop hundreds of dollars on gear and protein powders, but won't spend a little money to make sure they're doing the right thing. I promise you, you'll end up saving money by talking to me, and I will keep you away from doing stuff that is bullshit. All right, so squats for bodybuilding. The first question I always ask somebody, are you feeling it? Do they fit you? A lot of people don't feel squats in their legs. I'm one of them. I used to squat a lot when I was younger. I was a heavy squatter. I could pound a lot of weight out on squats. I got really strong at them, but I am a low back squatter. I feel squats all in my low back. My back takes over, and you'll see those guys in the gym, the guys that squat like they're doing a good morning. They get leaned over, yada yada, and I know everybody says do a high bar squat. You'll feel it more in your quads, but I can't get my shoulders to rotate that way to get under a high bar squat. I just do not feel squats at all in my quads. Not a little bit. Maybe in my hamstrings a tad, maybe in my glutes a tad, maybe in my adductors a tad, but it's mostly a low back exercise for me, and I think a lot of people are cut out that way. So another question too is the systematic fatigue that comes along with squats. And this is a thing that I always ask people about when they choose exercises, and I think is of primary importance when you're choosing exercises that are correct for your routine. Is the fatigue cost of that exercise worth it? So if you go through and blast out a couple sets of heavy squats, you're toast afterwards. At least I am. I don't know how you're put together, but I don't feel like doing a whole lot after I go through some heavy squats, especially if I do a back off set and do some high reps. I am done. I am not going to be blasting out a bunch of effort on leg press or anything I do thereafter. So most of the modern literature now shows that volume is the primary driver of hypertrophy, and if you are toast after doing squats, you can't get the proper volume in to drive hypertrophy. So you have to ask yourself, some people can blast out squats and they're fine. They can just keep on chugging along. I am not one of those people. Another thing too is the strong squat, skinny leg syndrome. I see a lot of dudes that can squat a shit ton of weight. It's the same thing with deadlifts. You can deadlift a ton of weight, but they don't have big legs. Look at a lot of powerlifters. A lot of powerlifters don't have huge legs. Most bodybuilders have bigger legs than powerlifters do. And I think this has to do with a lot of what I talked about earlier. I think a lot of those guys are squatting from their lower back. They use their core to power through the squats. And they're not actually working their quads or their leg muscles that hard. We also have to think about the leg anatomy. What parts of the legs are we stimulating for hypertrophy? And I think squats miss out on a lot of the legs. If you are a wide squatter, which I see a lot of people are, that is mostly going to be glutes, adductors, and lower back. You're not going to even really be working quads that much. I think wide squats seem to be popular now. If you're doing high bar, narrow stance, then yes, it might be more quads if your anatomy can suit that. I also think you need to get super deep on squats to get any stimulation on your legs. I don't see really many people going deep on squats as well. So there are four muscles in the quadricep. There's the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, vastus intermedius. And I just don't see many people stimulating any of those. Maybe the medialis with the teardrop muscle on the leg, maybe. Maybe the adductors, maybe the glutes, some hamstrings. But I just don't see people really getting that much out of them. There are some exceptions. There are some guys that squat heavy, do a ton of squats, and have big ass legs. Everybody likes to point to the Tom Platz example, but here's the thing with Tom Platz. If you go back and look at him, any videos or pictures of him squatting, what did Tom Platz do? Tom Platz did a lot of volume, and Tom Platz got really deep. Tom Platz also used his quads to activate during squats. So he squatted like a bodybuilder, not like a powerlifter. And most dudes I see in the gym are squatting like powerlifters. And people point out, that he was strong on squats. It was relative. Most of the time when you see Tom Platz, the old videos of him, he was banging out like 30, 40 reps with 405. So relatively speaking, that was a light weight for him. He would do a lot of volume, a lot of light weight, and then he would move on to hack squats. I saw him do a lot of hack squats and leg extensions as well, which I also think are good for development. And think about modern bodybuilders now. Most modern bodybuilders don't squat. I think they figured it out. I know Dorian Yates never squatted. Dorian Yates had huge legs. From what I understand, Big Ramy doesn't squat. Big Ramy's got the biggest legs in bodybuilding right now. So consider that when you're looking into squats. If you like this video, guys, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel and hit that thumbs up button. If you have questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Once again, I appreciate you watching my videos. Take care.